it's me, and today we're going to be reading another Diary of a Wimpy Kid fan fiction book. This one is Diary of a Wimpy Kid Schoolhouse Trouble, so let's get it. And here are I think this is the person who made it. I don't know, but I'll try to put whoever made it in the bio, but if I can't, I'm sorry. But you can usually find these on Reddit. Okay, next. Okay, we're going. June, Monday. Things really haven't been the same since Riley transferred schools because of an incident. I'll write about this incident in more details later, but basically one day at lunch, some kids pulled a prank on Fregley and put pure sugar cubes into the milk he was drinking, and that caused him to go flat out crazy. Boogie, boogie, boogie! The worst thing is that the school didn't do anything about it. For the rest of the day, Fregley ran around the school like a feral animal. After that, Raleigh parents weren't so keen on letting him stay at Westmore anymore because of how the school treated the situation. They transferred him to a schoolhouse a bit far from where I live, so I don't plan on visiting him anytime soon. A few weeks later, July, Wednesday, school is finally out. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I had a few plans to do over the summer, but before I could even begin, Rowley called me on the phone today. He said he left his school notebooks back at his schoolhouse, and he needed me to get all 7 of them for him. I asked him why he could do it himself. I have eating practice. He also told me that I still owed him after I used him as a human shield against Fregley during the incident. I guess he's right, but I still couldn't go since his schoolhouse was so far away. And that's when he said that a school bus would come and pick me up tomorrow. Thursday, it came. This bus that Raleigh was talking about was in my front yard. I was wondering why a school bus would come here, pick me up, and take me to a school I didn't even go to. It was a bit suspicious, but I didn't really question it at all the time. I decided to get out and go into the bus. Before I even knew it, I was already there. I could have sworn I could have sat down in the time before we stopped at the schoolhouse. When I got inside, there was this tall, bald guy. He must have been the head teacher here because he waved and welcomed me to his schoolhouse. I tried to go a bit deeper to the schoolhouse so I could find Rowley's notebooks, but then the teacher said I need to already collect 2 of his notebooks before I could. How this guy already knew I was here for Rowley's notebooks was beyond me. But at that point, I just wanted to get it over with already. I decided to go into one of the 2 classrooms I could actually go into, hoping to find one of Rowley's notebooks, and surprisingly I did. It was right on the front desk of the classroom. When I came to collect it, some strange device popped up out of nowhere and had a math problem on it. Now it's time for everybody's favorite subject, math. Sorry, as if my balding impression's bad. Okay. Apparently, I had to answer all 3 questions correctly, and I'd get a prize of some kind. Of course, I couldn't pass up the opportunity for a free prize, so I went through each question correctly. After that, I managed to get the notebook. I left the classroom, and the teacher told me that I did great, and he gave me a quarter. I mean, I wasn't expecting much from a school, but I'm pretty sure there must have been something better than a quarter. After that, I went into the other classroom, and there was another one of Riley's notebooks. I went to pick it up, and then a strange pad appeared again. I decided to answer the questions correctly, since maybe the quarter was just the least valuable prize. All was going on until I heard the 3rd question. There was all these bunched up numbers, and I couldn't understand. I'm not even sure college-level students would be able to figure it out. And when the teacher told me what the question was, it was all just a buzz of static, so I gave it a good guess. I can hear every door you open. Well, that failed. Thanks for nothing. Beginner's guide, at least I got the notebook though, but after I got it, I started to hear slapping. It wasn't an ordinary slapping either. I recognized the slapping as that of the ruler, since some teachers would slap it to get our attention in class. I went out to check what was making that slapping sound outside the classroom, and I saw the teacher with a long ruler in his hand. He whacked the ruler onto his hand and suddenly lunged forward. I then realized that my butt being attached to me was more important than Riley's moronic notebook problem. So I went to leave, but the exit was gone. I couldn't get out, and the teacher slapped his ruler again and got closer to me. I ran right to a pair of double doors and hid in a room labeled school faculty. I was sure that guy couldn't have seen me enter the room. I was so quick, but then to my surprise, he burst right in. I ran to the other door that the teacher wasn't blocking, and it was only a faculty room. So I ran out of it as soon as possible, and just as I did, some guy suddenly ran at me, and then he touched me. I was in a completely different area. 15 seconds detention for you. It turns out I had detention for entering a faculty-only room, which was a bit strange. Sure, I went where I wasn't supposed to, but I don't think you can give kids detention if they don't even go to your school. Well, in detention, I saw all these posters, and they appeared to be everyone who's in the school. I read up on some of them, and apparently the teacher's name is Baldy, and he had an insane hearing, which was probably how he found me after I hid in the faculty room. I was going to read more of the posters, but I started hearing those slaps, and I knew I had to get out of there ASAP. Luckily, my detention had only been for 15 seconds, and the door unlocked when it was done, and I dashed right out of there in just the nick of time. I went around a corner, and in a different classroom there, I found another one of Riley's notebooks. I know I was trying to hide from this crazed baldy guy, but I couldn't help but pick up the notebook. When I did, another one of those things popped up in my face. I thought that maybe if I answered all three correctly for this one, Baldy might stop, but just like the second one, the third question in this thing was also busted, and I just couldn't get it correct. At least I found some blue soda in the classroom before I left, but it felt like someone had been shaking it for hours. So I decided not to drink it right then and there, and plus, I had to still worry about Baldy. As I went down the hall to the left, I saw a giant sock puppet at the other end of the hall. I recognized them from one of those detention posters and knew their name, Arts and Crafters, and I assumed they'd be calling out they could help me deal with Baldy, but before I could get to them, they quickly fled down the other hall. I went to the next classroom and got another one of Riley's notebooks, since at this point, if I were to get spanked by this teacher, I'd get it to the hospital, or if body was found inside of a janitorial closet, I would have these notebooks on me just to show Riley I tried. As I expected, the notebook in the classroom had one of those and the third question of it also completely gibberish. I had no time to think about what to do next. As Baldy entered the classroom, there were these pink scissors on one of the tables, and I tried to threaten Baldy with them, but he didn't even phase him. In retrospect, they weren't really the most menacing, I don't know how to say that, guys, thing. He got uncomfortably close to me, and that's when I ran more than I ever could out of the classroom and into a cafeteria. I wanted to catch my breath, but Baldy was still chasing me. I had no choice but to keep going, but I had to use all my energy from my mad dash into the cafeteria, so I wasn't running as fast as I wanted to. But then when I realized I was famished from running so much, luckily someone threw a chocolate bar on the cafeteria desk. Baldy was catching up to me. Luckily, I felt super energetic after eating that chocolate bar, so I ran away from Baldy until I could hear his slapping anymore. I knew I couldn't lose him, but it would be good to put some distance between us. After that, I ran into one of the closets and saw another one of Riley's notebooks. I decided to grab it and just put random things in for each of the questions, thinking it wouldn't matter anyways. I got all of them wrong, which was really a big mistake. I heard Baldy slapping and getting really fast, and that's so I made a run for it, and I continued down the long hallway until this girl went up to me and wouldn't let me by. She said I had to jump in her jump rope for a few times before she would let me pass, so I decided to try it out. Turns out, though, I'm not exactly the best fit for jumping rope. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be making a part 2 of this, so if you would like to, see the rest of this book, you better go into my channel, subscribe, because I'll be making more of these videos, and also go to part 2 just so you can read the rest of this book. Okay, bye guys, see you in my next video, which is going to be the part 2 of the Baldy Basic Schoolhouse one with the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, bye guys, go make sure to check out the part 2.